Diddy lawyer has been noted that he is quitting. He is quitting. He don't want anything to do with Diddy. Now this is going to make the second lawyer that stood behind Diddy.
8 celebrities at Diddy freak offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on having intimate relations with Sean Combs. How many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appeared to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims?
It looks like Diddy is in deeper waters than anyone could have predicted. Just when we thought things couldn't get more intense, his own lawyer has decided to step back. And this shakeup comes right after some truly shocking news about Kim Porter has leaked now if you've been following. This case, you already know, it's been one jaw-dropper after another. But this latest twist, it might just be one to tip the scales. So what does this mean for Diddy? And what's really going on behind the scenes? Let's dive in and break it all down. The courtroom was already buzzing with tension when Courtney Burgess, a key witness in Diddy's ongoing legal drama, took the stand. Burgess, who was a close friend of Diddy's late ex-partner Kim Porter, dropped a bombshell that could seriously shake things up. He claims to have evidence that could not only hit Diddy's reputation hard, but also link him to a string of shocking events that no one saw coming. This might just be the final nail in the coffin for the music.
At Diddy freak offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast.
All right, so get this. Burgess claims that before her tragic passing, Kim Porter trusted him with a stash of flash drives. And these aren't just any flash drives, according to him. They're packed with some seriously disturbing material, videos, documents, and even a manuscript Porter had been working on for years. This isn't just a regular memoir either, titled Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side. It supposedly exposes a darker side of Diddy's life, including his connections with some very high-profile celebrities. But wait, there's more. These drives allegedly contain footage from some of Diddy's notorious parties where major names in the entertainment world were supposedly caught on camera, and some, let's say, compromising situations. This isn't the first time we've heard wild rumors about Diddy, these infamous parties. But what supposedly on these flash drives could take things to a whole new level, according to Burgess's grand jury testimony. These videos allegedly show several A-list celebrities, many of whom had no idea they were even being filmed, involved in activities that could be seriously damaging to their careers. But it gets even more shocking. Burgess claims that some of the people in these tapes were underage at the time. If these allegations are true, it's the kind of scandal that could send massive shock waves through Hollywood. And knowing how explosive this evidence could be, it's no wonder why Porter was so determined to protect it.
A woman claimed that she was drugged in 1991. Was there ever any time where you seen some women who looked like they might have been drugged or they might have been on heavy on?
And why did Kim Porter give those flash drives to Burgess in the first place? According to his testimony, Porter was genuinely afraid for her life in the months before she passed away. She was convinced that if something happened to her, it wouldn't just be a coincidence. In fact, she apparently shared with a few close friends that Diddy was growing more paranoid and controlling. Burgess testified that Porter made him promise to go public with the recordings and manuscript if anything suspicious happened to her. And now that she's gone, Berg says he's simply honoring that promise.
Do I think, yeah, there's no, every man possibly is capable. I think he's very capable of doing it. It's in his character. That's who he is. That's what comes with power. That's what comes with arrogance. That's what comes with, what makes him, power. That's just the selfishness to make you be like that. But
Let's not forget Kim Porter wasn't just another celebrity partner in Diddy's life. They shared a long, complicated relationship with 3 kids together and a history that went back years. They were on and off, and many people speculate that there was a lot more going on beneath the surface than what we saw when Kim passed away in 2018. It was initially ruled as natural causes, but rumors quickly started swirling, suggesting there might be more to the story, that maybe Kim knew too much and was silenced before she could speak out. Now, with Burgess's testimony and these mysterious flash drives surfacing, there's a real chance that we might finally learn the truth about what really happened to her.
That the detectives did not even view the body in the bed where she died at. That the coroner had already removed her, pronounced her dead, and told the detectives that it was no foul play. And if that is true, as I've heard it, and we've read certain things on the internet about it, that case needs to be reopened. We know that Kim, and it's in this is in the documentation, shout out to paperwork. At the paperwork.
What really takes things to another level is the potential fallout from these videos themselves. According to Burgess, there are at least 8 major celebrities caught up in these tapes. Some of them are even bigger names than Diddy. One of the most jaw-dropping parts of Burgess's testimony came when he suggested that at least 2 of the people in these videos were actually minors at the time. Now, just to be clear, no names have been released yet. But Burgess's lawyer, Ariel Mitchell, has confirmed that these tapes are real and exposed some of Hollywood's darkest secrets.
So, just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage.
We have, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other court.
This new evidence could be a massive game changer for Diddy's upcoming trial. He's already up against a long list of serious charges, including racketeering, and his legal team has been racing to put together a solid defense. But with these tapes potentially coming into play, it's tough to see how he'll dodge the legal storm brewing around him. Even some of Diddy's most loyal supporters are starting to have doubts as these accusations keep piling up. And it's not just the tapes stirring up trouble. There's also a manuscript that briefly appeared on Amazon before it got pulled. The book reportedly includes some very negative details about Kim Porter's life with Diddy, outlining years of alleged emotional and physical and hinting at his involvement in activities that could lead to even more legal headaches.
It's Kim's story. That's Kim's book. That's Kim's book. Then you hear about the fact that he broke Kim's nose on a yacht?
Wow, I ain't hear about that.
He broke Kim, let's say allegedly, but it was told by people in her camp that he broke Kim's nose on a yacht. So Cassie's story is Kim's story. Cassie book is Kim.
However, Kim Porter's close friend Leanne Delane is shutting down rumors that Kim, who passed away in 2018, ever tried to write a book. Speaking to TMZ, Lane, who had a deep 30-year friendship with Porter and even lived with her for 20 years, says there was no sign Kim wanted to put together any kind of manuscript. Courtney Burgess, a witness in Diddy's case, claimed otherwise. But Lane insists that she was with Porter daily and never saw her write anything down after Kim's passing. Lane handled her belongings and says she never found any hint of a book project among her things. Lane revealed that no one in Diddy's family knows Burgess, who testified last week in the New York case, claiming he was close to Kim Porter. Burgess's attorney, Ariel Mitchell, shared that a manuscript written by Porter was stored on a flash drive, which has now been handed over to federal officials investigating Diddy. Burgess also claims to have tapes from Diddy's parties featuring several famous names. These claims come right after Amazon pulled a book, Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice, after Porter's family called it a fraud. In another development, federal prosecutors say Diddy's lawyers are trying to take control of his criminal case, pushing for early disclosure of evidence, including the identities of his Prosecutors are asking the judge to reject this request, calling it blatantly improper. Defense lawyers are pushing for victim identities and other evidence to be disclosed. But prosecutors argue that this is an attempt to undermine the government's case. They've also requested a gag order to stop the accusers. Lawyers from speaking out, claiming media leaks are threatening a fair trial. Prosecutors shot back, saying the requests were a thinly veiled attempt to restrict the government's proof at this early stage of the case and hijack the criminal proceedings so the defendant can respond to civil lawsuits. This demand should be squarely rejected, especially in light of the risk it poses to witness safety. And as the defendant well knows, there is zero legal authority for his attempt to co-opt this criminal proceeding to defend against civil litigation. Diddy has been in federal custody since his September 16th arrest, with his trial set for May 5th. A judge denied his bail, citing concerns about potential obstruction of justice and witness tampering. He faces charges of coercing, abusing women, with prosecutors claiming he used his power in the industry for years to force women into acts with male workers, part of a broader racketeering conspiracy dating back to 2008. But if you thought the tapes and manuscripts were intense, it actually gets worse. Things in the courtroom took a surprising turn when it came out that some of Diddy's high-profile defense attorneys are now backing away from the case. One of the biggest names to step down is Mark Agnifilo, Diddy's lead attorney. He was reportedly spotted leaving the courthouse right after the new evidence was introduced, and sources say he might have been completely blindsided by the gravity of the allegations. While Agnifilo hasn't made any public statements about his choice to leave, insiders are saying that the introduction of those flash drives into evidence may have been the last straw.
Having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims?
Diddy's legal team is definitely facing a tough situation right now, especially after Ego's departure, which has really shaken up the defense. With a trial coming up in May 2025, it's still unclear who will step in to fill those shoes. The legal team has been struggling to keep up with mounting allegations, and now with the possibility of those tapes being introduced in court, Diddy's chances of fighting this case are shrinking by the day. The grand jury will soon decide if the tapes can be used as evidence, and if they're allowed in. Things could get a lot harder for Diddy. Meanwhile, the public is on edge, waiting to see what's going to happen next as more details keep coming out. Diddy's legal team is claiming that Burgess is behind a smear campaign, suggesting that the tapes are part of a bigger effort to bring him down. But legal experts say that if those tapes are authenticated and shown in court, they could be the most damaging evidence yet. With Burgess sticking to his story, it looks like the tapes will eventually see the light of day, whether in court or out in the public eye. As the trial date gets closer, fans and critics alike can't help but wonder just how much more there is to uncover. Diddy has always been a fascinating figure in the entertainment world, but this case might reveal a side of him few expected to see. Those mysterious flash drives are casting a huge shadow, and with each passing day, it seems harder for his team to shake the feeling that this case could end up in disaster. The revelations have also sparked a bigger conversation around accountability in Hollywood. For years, rumors have swirled about the behavior of some of the industry's most powerful figures, but real consequences have been rare. Now, with a possible release of these tapes, many are asking if this could be a major turning point. Burgess's testimony has already fueled speculation about who else might be involved, and if those tapes do go public, the impact could reach far beyond just Diddy as we head into what's shaping up to be one of the biggest celebrity trials in years. One thing is clear: Diddy's got a lot on the line. His career, his legacy, even his freedom. It's all at risk. With fresh evidence coming to light, it's starting to feel like the walls are closing in on him. Could this finally be the moment where we uncover what really went down at those infamous parties? And more importantly, did he find a way out of this legal nightmare? Only time will tell, but one thing's for Sure, this story is far from over, and we're likely in for more bombshells in the coming months, with the disturbing claims from Courtney Burgess stirring the pot. We're about to take a closer look at the trail of controversy that shadowed Diddy for years. It seems like all those secrets are finally being exposed. And if the past few months are any indicator, Diddy's past may finally be catching up to him. We've all heard the whispers and stories surrounding Diddy, the talk about how he supposedly treated those closest to him. Allegations of control manipulation, and even have been floating around for years, casting a shadow over his public image. But now, with these fresh accusations and rumors of explosive videotapes potentially coming to light, it feels like the dam is about to burst. Everyone's wondering how much longer can Diddy keep up the claims of innocence. Let's be real. It's becoming harder to brush this off as just a smear campaign, especially with a pattern of similar allegations following him for so long. But before we dive into these new developments and the latest legal mess he's in, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Diddy's history with power and alleged violence isn't exactly a secret. It's been industry gossip for years. One of the most talked about cases that put him in the spotlight was his relationship with Cassie Ventura. Their story began in 2007, when Cassie, then 19 and a band, coming in talent on Diddy's label, seemed to affect found her big break. But behind the scenes, a much darker story was unfolding.
That the detectives did not even view the body in the bed where she died at. That the coroner had already removed her, pronounced her dead, and told the detectives that it was no foul play. And if that is true, as I've heard it, and we've read certain things on the internet about it, that case needs to be reopened. We know that Kim, and it's in the this is in the documentation, shout out to paperwork. At the paperwork.
What really takes things to another level is the potential fallout from these videos themselves. According to Burgess, there are at least 8 major celebrities caught up in these tapes. Some of them are even bigger names than Diddy. One of the most jaw-dropping parts of Burgess's testimony came when he suggested that at least 2 of the people in these videos were actually minors at the time. Now, just to be clear, no names have been released yet. But Burgess's lawyer, Ariel Mitchell, has confirmed that these tapes are real and exposed some of Hollywood's darkest secrets.